Welcome to another amuse-bouche. Is this the first, at least the first, maybe the only one of this season? I don't remember.
We should do one more amuse-bouche
We'll
at the end.
try to double mouge it.
Yeah.
And this one is one of two mouges. This one is entitled...
Guys, wonderful week.
Guys, wonderful week. I feel bad that you weren't there to experience the wonderful week with me, because you would have absolutely loved it.
I really wanted to go on that wonderful week with you, but I could not because I was busy doing auditions.
Well, my wonderful week, the reason
you had a wonderful week.
The reason it was so wonderful, where did I go? I went to Tokyo. So, Pinocchio, 964, Shozin Fukui, my favourite film ever, has returned to cinemas, or cinema, Shinjuku-kei Cinema, to the big screen for the first time in 34 years.
Wow.
Now, it has had screenings outside of its initial run, because I had seen it on the big screen as like one-off screenings in Koenji in Tokyo before. But this was like the first run, that consecutive run, and it was a 2-week run. It actually just got extended for a third week.
Nice.
Yes.
So it's still on now?
It's still on now.
Wow.
Not the time this airs, it'll probably be done by then, but yeah, it got extended for an extra week due to its success, which is fantastic. Now, before any of it got announced, Shozin messaged me and asked me to make the trailer for it, or asked would I be interested, which of course I said yes. I made a trailer, and he was very happy with that. And it was playing in Shinjuku-kei Cinema for a couple of months before it was ever actually announced online. Now, after we released the trailer, there was a ton of extra additional events that also got announced, and talk shows, including I was asked to join the initial talk show with Shozin Fukui and Kawase Yota, who he was the art director in Pinocchio, but is more known as the main actor in Rubber's Lover.
Right.
So the three of us would be in the opening talk show, which was a huge thing for me, just being asked to join. Now I was like, really? Like,
yeah. What did you say in that talk? Were you like the moderator, or?
Well, the thing is, I'll get to that. We were talking about what we could possibly talk about and what I could bring to a talk show. Because obviously when Pinocchio was first released, I think I was probably about 2 or 3 years old. So I was like, obviously I can't talk about much about the backstory. So, I can talk about Shozin Fukui's, how well he is known overseas and foreigners' interpretations or thoughts about him as a director and about Pinocchio as a film. Which he seemed completely on board with. So I kind of went into the talk expecting to talk about that. Now, leading up to the screening, there was a ton of extra screenings announced. For example, the Rubber's Lover screening and his student films, Gerist, Caterpillar, and Metal Days, the mythical Metal Days. As well as a bunch of talks, including a cast reunion, which was fucking huge for me. We were talking about the talk show, and I asked, is there going to be a moderator? Because every time I've done a talk in Japan, there's normally been a moderator who can, just like balance the talks, shoot questions back and forth between the speakers. And Shozin was like, there's only the 3 of us, so maybe, it's like, Guy, can you be the moderator? And I was like, whoa, and I was like, hang on, whoa. I was like, Shozin, wait. It's a fucking honor. But my Japanese only extends so far. So I was like,
quite stressful.
It would be very stressful. And I said, look, if you want me to do it, I'll give it my all. But I think there are better people for this job than I. And he said, don't worry, you'll be fine. And I was like, oh shit. So I was like, okay, we'll figure it out. And he said, maybe you'll do it. Maybe Kawase will do it. We'll figure it out. And he said, we'll talk about it on the day.
Fucking hell.
So
it's a lot of pressure.
I know. It got to the day, and I got on the Shinkansen from Osaka down to Tokyo, and get a message from Shozin, and he's just like, Guy Kawase, he's filming today, and we don't know what time he's going to arrive at the cinema. so we might not have time for an actual meeting about the talk, so we might just have to wing it. I was like, fuck, all right. So I get to the cinema, and I go in and go up to the top floor. So it was a fucking incredible screening, first and foremost. So what he did, he spent about 6 months trying to create an environment where he could do a live audio mix to the screenings.
Right.
So he connected the projector room, which is on the 4th floor, down to the auditorium on the 3rd floor with these massive cables, and did these live audio mixes for the screenings.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was talking with him. We were up in the backstage, and I could hear all the sound checks going on and stuff. It was wild. And at first I was like, so are you doing this like every screening? And he was like, nah, probably not. Maybe just for the weekends or for the screenings with talks, but we'll see. And in the end, he did it for every single screening.
Fucking
for
hell.
the entire 2, now 3-week run.
And that's like every day?
Every day.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Was his bar open at this time?
So Mami-san, his partner,
she was running
is running it. She was there at the screening for the opening where I joined. And then I went to Kamuri after one of the screenings where she was running it on her own. And Shozin said he'll pop in after the nights every now and again if he has the energy. But yeah, so he did the screening, which was absolutely amazing. So loud.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so loud, but you literally heard every single note and frequency.
Yeah.
It just blew you away. But it started without us being able to do a meeting. So Shozin was like, all right, go. As soon as the film finished, we're going to meet in the lobby, we'll have a quick talk, and then we'll start. And I was like, right. So as soon as the film finished, I stepped out of the theatre, and Kawase, he's there, and he's like, guy, come on, we're going on stage. And I was like, no, we're gonna have a talk. We need to have a meeting. He's like, no, it's fine, let's go. And I was like, fuck. So we just basically dived on stage, and Shozin came out, and he's like, you're already going on? And Kawase was like, come on, hurry up, they're waiting for us. So we literally jumped on stage without a second to talk, and just winged it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And were you the moderator?
No.
Okay.
Thank goodness. Well, thank goodness, like, Kawase, he's such a great talker. I actually, I joined a talk with him for Gorefest last year because he was in a film by Daisuke Yamanouchi, who did obviously Red Room, Muzane, his new film called The Dog and Catfish. And I joined a talk with Kawase, Daisuke Yamanouchi, myself, and Aldegi. And during that time as well, he pretty much just like moderated the whole film, the whole talk.
Right.
So he took charge of this talk as well, which was fucking great for me. And we just chatted. We just chatted about, the behind the scenes. They chatted about how Shozin was Ishisogo's like
protege.
Yes. And it was how Ishisogo pushed Shozin to become, or like to make his first feature. And Kawase asked me about how I came to know Shozin and my first time meeting him, my first experience with Pinocchio. It was very good. It was a great little experience. It was very short, very sweet, which was good for me. So there wasn't many opportunities for me to fuck up my Japanese.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
It was great. And then, so I'm on the stage and I'm chatting, I'm looking around and who is sitting in the theatre? None other than Hisayasu Sato. I'm like, Sato, you dirty bastard. And so we finished the talk, and I'm talking, and Sato's there in the lobby, and he's like, guy, I heard you're doing a talk, so I came to see you.
Wait, he came for you?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, fucking hell, Sato, thank you, mate. And he's like, I'm doing a screening tomorrow. Come see it. And it's his screening of the Molester Train, Chikandensha, starring Hayashi Yumika. Yeah. Unfortunately, the following day was the cast reunion, so I wasn't able to go to that. But I said, I might be able to make the talk, which I did. As soon as the cast reunion finished, which was absolutely incredible, I met all the original cast. It was amazing. I was able to just express my thanks and gratitude to them for making this incredible movie. Everyone went home after that, and then I dashed over to Asagaya and watched the talk. It was with Sato Hisayasu, Imaizumi, and Kiyomito, and then we went out for drinks.
Nice.
Yeah, fucking great.
That's the first time you met Kiyomi Ito. Right?
Yeah, she is tiny.
Yeah.
She is so small. I could not believe it. I was quite shocked at how small she is. Yeah. Her legs are about the size of my wrists.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was there in like a tiny little black dress and big Doc Martens. Yeah. But lovely lady. And I had to bring it up. Last year, 2 years ago now, it would have been, we went to Tokyo to catch Hisayasu Sato's debut film on 16mm. And we were told there and then that the film would never be released due to copyrighted music.
Yeah. And you can go back and listen to our 3 episodes that we did about that trip.
Yes.
I think it's just called Tokyo Trip.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a good trip.
There's some minis there.
Yeah.
Where we talk about that film in more detail.
Yeah.
Did you mention the name of the film already? Distorted Sense of Touch.
Yeah.
What's the Japanese, like Lolita
something or other?
Or something? Yeah.
The sort of sense of touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were told that it could never be released because the song they used at the end was the
Sex Pistols cover of My Way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, that film has since been released on DVD in Japan. So I pre-ordered it, I watched it, and I was like, were they able to get the rights to use the music, or did he change his vision? But when we met him and spoke to him, according to him, he said he would rather not change he would rather just have not been released than to change the music.
Yeah.
So very curious. Now, I watched that as soon as it arrived. First of all, it's been remastered. Looks beautiful. Almost too clean for me personally.
Yeah. I watched it last night, the DVD. I thought it has been remastered, but I didn't think it looked that cleaned up. A little bit, but it still had the grain in there. It still looked how I remembered it, but a little bit brighter.
Is definitely brighter because I remember when we watched it on 16mm. And there's like, because it's about a man in drag, right? And there's a scene where he kidnaps and stabs a lady to death, and they look very similar, their look. And I remember when we watched it on 16mm, I couldn't tell who was who. It looked like two identical people stabbing each other to death. And I remember absolutely loving it. It was a very darkly lit scene, two seemingly identical people stabbing each other to death, blood pouring out on the floor. In the new cut, it's so bright. You can see who is who very, very clearly. And it played out a little differently to how I remember in the cinema. You can clearly see who is who. And while I initially thought it was like two people stabbing each other to death, it ended up just being the man stabbing the woman, which wasn't as enjoyable as how I remembered it.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't remember having that experience the first time watching it. Like they do look similar, but I don't remember feeling like unsure of who was who in it. So for me, it like played out pretty much exactly how I remembered it, except for the last scene of the film. So the DVD does not use the Sex Pistols song at the end, and instead it's like a song that you hear earlier in the film.
So the opening by the Stalin.
So it just plays that again, and it was kind of, it was not, it was a weird experience watching that DVD, because I was really happy, obviously, to be seeing it on DVD, and like all the stuff building up to that was how I remember it. But then the ending of that original film is so fucking good. So powerful with that song. It fits so fucking well, that Sex Pistols song. And this new version, it does not hit in the same way. And it doesn't ruin the film, but I
feel like it cheapens it.
It cheapens the ending, and it makes the ending feel silly, where it is kind of a silly ending. But in that original version with that song, it gave it like such a sort of punch, and it felt like very punk in a very good way. And without that, it just didn't hit the same way.
It didn't.
Yeah, so it was a weird experience to watch. Yeah, very, very disappointing. that they couldn't get the song.
Yeah, and I was speaking to Sato, and I kind of just like dropped in as like, oh, so you had to change the song, huh? And he was like, shut up. He's like, don't sing. The FBI are listening, or something. He was like, they're listening. Don't tell anyone, like that. As if like he was never allowed to use it in the first place.
Right.
And if he got found out, it would be a big problem for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was just like, all right. Now, I don't know if this is just my imagination, but I swear, because we heard that he filmed that end scene on the coming of age ceremony in Japan, and I swear there were scenes that indicated that, like children in kimonos walking through the street. Do you remember those shots?
Yeah, I think I kind of know what you mean, but I think you're maybe misremembering, because I think that shot is the same at the end. So there's like a big crowd scene.
Yeah.
At the end, but you do see people in kimonos,
right?
Much earlier in the film,
right?
So maybe it's like getting mixed up, because there's no reason why that would change as well, right? So yeah, I don't think that's a thing. Also, was it actually? When is coming of age day?
Good question.
Because it. Oh, actually, that does make sense. So Coming of Age Day is January 12th, and it does look like a very wintry scene. Yeah, so it probably was filmed then. But I think, I feel like it must have been, and maybe I might have had a similar thing as well, because in my mind, I kind of remember that too. But earlier in the film, in a crowd scene, you do see people in kimonos. I just don't see why they were. I mean, it's not like he has another take of that shot, right?
But I was just like, would he have cut those out? But I don't know why he would. But I wonder if like because he couldn't use that song, then those shots wouldn't work with the new song attached to them, so he would have cut them out or something.
Yeah.
But I could just be I think I am misremembering things. But regardless, I was like, it doesn't. It's still a fantastic film and one of my favorite of his, but
it goes from basically being that screening we watched was like a 5-star movie, and now it's like a 4-star film.
Yeah.
Which is quite sad.
Yes. But regardless, we went out for drinks, actually twice, because I ended up managing to catch that Yumika screening like 2 days later. And that's a fantastic film as well.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, I think also, again, one of Sato's best with Yumika in it. And then drinks with Sato and Imaizumi-san as well. Very, very good. Now, 2-3 days after that was Shozin's student films. So, Gerarist, Caterpillar, and Metal Days. Now, of course, Metal Days being the controversial film that it is, everyone was very excited to see it and are waiting for a physical release. The fact that it actually got screened at all gives hope that there might be a release on the way. Now, we did a whole episode on Metal Days last year or 2 years ago or something. 2 years ago, probably. And went into a lot of details and issues as to why A, it's not been released, and B, as to why I can't share it with you or whatever. Speaking to Shozin on the weekend, he gave me some new information. It wasn't good.
Oh no.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh.
First, I asked about copyrighted issues, because that was what I was initially believe was one of the biggest issues, and he said he doesn't have any copyright issues. So either he overcame them or I misunderstood what he was saying first time round. But basically, he has one sole print of Metal Days left. There is the only remaining print left of Metal Days in the world that has been dubbed from his last film print.
Right.
And after he dubbed it, and then the film print or the machine that was used to dub it fucking blew up and broke. And he has tried so many digitalization centers, film centers, to basically get it fixed. And he says it can't be fixed. So he has, I believe it's like a mini DV or something as the sole remaining copy.
Right.
Yeah. And he's had to re-edit it. He has cut out a ton of stuff from it. So it went from a 60-minute film to a 45-minute film. And he said that he basically said the film is cursed. That's what he told me. He says, I don't think I can release it. And I was like, no, but you have it. Like, you can release it in the form that you have it in. And he was like, I'll have to just see how I go. Like, the print is awful. It looks terrible. And I was like, right. And so just from our conversation, it seems to be in a lot worse of a situation than I initially thought. So I went to the screening, and it was Metal Days first, then Garrus, then Caterpillar. He came out at the beginning of Metal Days, and he spoke about his university days and making films and the bands that he got together, and Haji, the guy from Pinocchio, being in the film as well. And shared some backstories about the production, but also mentioned that the sole print, the only remaining print of this film in the whole world, is extremely unstable. And during the screening, it might abruptly stop.
Right.
And he said, we might have to basically stop the screening halfway through, so please forgive us while we work on any technical details.
Wait, so he's playing it from film?
I think he's playing it from like a film dub. So film to digital. Because there were some digital glitches within the video. As well as some like sounds like cutting out. So, and then, the end credits as well were completely lopped off.
Right.
But apart from the end credits being taken out, I couldn't pick up on what had been removed from the film. But I spoke to him after. I was like, and I was thinking, like, it's because I have a VHS of this film, right? And it's in a much better condition than the print that he screened.
Right.
So after the film, we were talking, and obviously I don't want to overstep myself too much, but I was like, Shozin, I've got this film on tape, and he was like, that's fucking rare. And I was like, yeah, do you want it? And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah, because the only print that you have is full of, visual and audio errors. And I said, what happened to the end credits? He said, you can't watch, they're unwatchable. And I said, let me give you my copy, because it's the whole film in its entirety. It doesn't have any visual or audio glitches. So let me just at least supply it to you, see what you think. Maybe you can use it, maybe you can't. And if you can, then great. And if not, then so be it. And he was just like, thank you so much. So I gave him my copy. And so far, he's come back with, this looks absolutely beautiful when compared to what I have. So thank you so much. And I think he's going to use it going forward. So hopefully that will lead to something. And even if it doesn't, at least it will preserve the film in its entirety. As opposed to his cut down version, which he cut due to necessity rather than wanting to.
Okay. Well, that's good and bad news together. In one. Yeah.
So I basically I logged everything on Letterboxd throughout the entire week, from the screening I joined, the talk I joined, the reunion. He also changed quite a lot of things in Garrus and Caterpillar for as a new cut, new edits, and then the current state of Metal Days. So if anyone wants to learn about this thing in more detail, maybe check Letterboxd and also check out our previous video to it. But yeah, any information or updates I get regarding Metal Days, I will post in the comment of my Letterboxd review. But at least, as far as I've heard, he's happy with the new print. And according to him, from what we spoke about, as long as he can overcome the technical issues, then a physical release is possible.
Please.
So here's hoping.
Please put it out.
Basically, yeah.
Just for your mental health.
For my mental health, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much my my awesome week in Japan.
Wonderful week.
Yeah. It was funny, after the Rubber's Lover screening. So again, Rubber's Lover, he did with a live score. And at the end of it, myself and Kawase Yota, everyone was waiting for the elevator. So we just took the stairs down, walked to the station, chatted along the way, got to the station, said our goodbye. And I was like, that was a fucking incredible evening. I think I'll go back to my hotel now and go to sleep. And as soon as I started heading back to my hotel, I bumped into Yoshiki Takahashi, who was the screenwriter for Cold Fish, that Shion Sono film, and he directed Rageaholic as well. And I was like, oh, fuck Yoshiki. And he was like, die. He was like, what are you doing? I was like, nothing. He's like, let's go to drink.
Oh, God. Is he the guy with the long hair?
Yeah, like the red dreadlock. Yeah. He pops up everywhere.
Yeah.
So we went out drinking together until morning. And I was like, oh, man, Tokyo is fucking dangerous.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot more going on there compared to Osaka.
It is. It was so much fun, though.
There you go.
There you go.
Guys, wonderful week.
Yeah. Oh, and I have something for you, Dave, as well. Might as well give it to you here. There you go. Pamphlet.
Oh, lovely Yumika pamphlet. So these are all the films starring her that we're screening.
Yeah, so Yumika Hayashi, she died 20 years ago now, in tragic death, but she was a very famous AV actress and pink actress, and they are doing a remembrance screening in Asagaya, and it shows, I think, maybe 20 films or so,
right,
of her like key moments in her career. And Sato Hisayasu Molester Train film also played. And throughout the entire retrospective, all the directors and supporting cast members and everyone is coming to do talks and to like share their memories of her. And it was a very, very moving talk and screening.
Her film Lunchbox. Have you watched that yet?
Yeah.
That's my favorite Pink film of all time. And she's amazing. Weirdly enough, like, when you were having your wonderful week, I weirdly went on a Yumika bender, just like watching a whole bunch of her films for no particular reason.
She's great.
So I was every film I watched with her, like, no matter what the quality of the film, like, she was always fantastic. She's a really amazing actress.
I think listeners of this podcast will probably know her most as the girl in Splatter Naked Blood who eats her own eyeball.
Yeah.
Sato mentioned that in the talk show, and he when he was doing casting, he was like, it has to be Yumika because she has the most delicious looking eyeballs I have ever seen.
Oh, that's such a Sato comment. Yeah. Oh my God, that eyeball licking freak, Sato.
No.
Oh.
He's a funny fella. Yeah. He really is. Yeah.
It must have been quite a thing to see him talking to Shozin.
Oh, yeah.
Had they met each other before?
They had met, I think maybe once, but it was like, you kind of thing. Like,
right.
They're not like on like friendly terms or like they're not like mates, but they know of each other because they basically come from the same backgrounds.
Yeah.
Punk like, directors.
Very different worlds, but then there's a lot of similarities in their career, right?
Yeah.
Especially the punk early punk aspect. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was talking to some lady in the lobby. She asked me to sign a pipe for some reason. It was weird. She was like, can you sign this? I was like, what is it? She was a pipe. And I was like, all right. But I have no idea. But next to me, like Sato and Fukui were talking and I was like, hang on. I was like, and then we just like take this picture. I just like took a picture of them talking. I was like, two fucking legends, two of my favorite directors, just having a casual chat in the lobby. It was a lovely little moment to witness.
I want to know more about this pipe.
I have no idea. She was really odd. And she was like, can you sign this? And I was like, it's a pipe. She was like, yeah, no, it's my instrument. I brought it all the way from Australia.
It was an Australian?
It was a Japanese lady.
A Japanese lady?
With an Australian pipe. But it was like a pipe like used for plumbing, like it's what you'd find under the sink.
Oh, that kind of pipe.
Yeah.
I was like picturing, I was imagining like an old sort of smoking pipe.
Oh, no, like plumbing pipe.
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah. That's even weirder.
Yeah, and I was like, what? She's like, yeah, it's my instrument. I play it like a horn. And I was like, okay. Was it just you? No, Shozin signed it as well. He
signed the pipe?
Yeah.
Did Sato sign the pipe?
No. He wasn't allowed.
Were there other signatures on this pipe?
No.
Oh, that's
but
weird.
There was a couple of weird stickers on there. But then, like, she was like, can I take a picture, like, together? And
of the pipe?
No.
You and the pipe?
No, it was me, the lady, and the pipe. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, do you mind if I put it up on like, Twitter? And I was like, okay. And then she put it up on Twitter and she like cut herself out of it.
And it's just you and the pipe.
So it's just me and her holding the pipe like off camera.
I need to see this picture.
It's fucking weird,
After
man.
this, you got to show me
It's
that
so
pipe.
weird.
Anyway, I got many questions about the pipe, but we can discuss that later.
So that was my wonderful week. I hope you enjoyed.
We'll see you next week for a regular episode.
We need Dave's wonderful week sometime.
It's like nothing special happens. It's just like, read a book.
Went to yakitori restaurant.
Yeah, went to a yakitori restaurant. Watched Happy Gilmore 2.
That's a wonderful week.
Had a sleep.
Oh, dude. Oh, I envy you.
All right, that's our next mini.
Dave's sleep pattern.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.